So a little while ago I did a video on actual anxiety hacks for actual anxious people. People that have an actual anxiety disorder. I have seen a few anxiety hacks and DIYs that were from people that I don't think have a severe anxiety disorder, because they were things like what to do when you're travelling, or what apps to use when you go running. These tips are more for people with moderate to severe anxiety and actual anxiety disorders. I did a video like this before, you guys seemed to like it and said you'd like a part 2. I have a part 2. I have many anxiety hacks and things that have worked for me over the years with anxiety, so these are just 5 more, and I'm sure I could come up with 5 more if you like this video as well. So make sure to let me know if you like this video, and these are my 5 anxiety hacks for actually anxious people. My first one is a medication bag. I have a medication bag that I take literally everywhere. If I'm going across to Sainsbury's for 5 minutes, I will take my medication bag with me. It's like having a little comfort blanket in my bag, and security. In my bag I have anti-nausea tablets, which are cyclizine hydrochloride. These are the best tablets I have ever been given in my whole entire life. I have emetophobia, which is phobia of sick, and these tablets actually shut down the vomit receptors in your brain, making it pretty very unlikely to be sick. That's what I want to say. I don't want to jinx it, but and it also makes you completely not nauseous. I have taken them before when I've been feeling really nauseous. Taken one within half an hour, I will not be feeling nauseous anymore. They're amazing. I also have Valium. The Valium I have is for very extreme circumstances when I'm feeling very anxious or panicky. I don't really like to take these. I only take them when it's kind of like a severe situation, because they can be very addictive. But I also have things like paracetamol. I might have some heat pads in there I find that if I'm feeling nauseous here, putting a heat pad here really helps me. I have ibuprofen, I have decongestion spray, I have CBD oil, I have period stuff, I have Buscopan, I have allergy medication. Anything that could possibly happen to me, I will have a bag full of drugs. So I am that girl that if you are having a sore tummy, have a sore head, feeling anxious, whatever it is, I will have your back. But it just really helps me to calm down knowing that that's there. And I don't use it that often. The only time I ever use it is really the cyclizine for nausea. But except from that, I don't really use it, but having it there is very important. Equally, I often have my beanie heat bag in my bag for when I'm feeling a sore tummy or nausea. I will put that in the microwave for 2 minutes, take it out, and I've got a nice little warm cozy pocket for my tummy. My next anxiety hack is to accept exactly where you are right this very second. Right now. Not when you get better, not when you can do X, Y, and Z. This was a mistake I made for a very long time, thinking I would be better when I could get the bus into town by myself. I would be better when I could get on a plane. I will be better when I can do this with my friends, this with my friends, this with my friends. That's not the case. I am better and I am okay exactly as I am right now. So whatever circumstances you're in right now, whether you are not able to leave your house, whether you're not able to go to the shops, whether you're not able to work, whether you don't have many friends, you're not in a relationship, whatever situation you're in right now, whatever you have done or not done, right now, accept yourself exactly as you are, because you are 100% enough right now. I remember the first time one of my friends said this to me on one of my Instagram posts, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't actually know that I was allowed to be okay with myself. I thought I had to be able to do the normal things that other people can do before I can accept myself, and that's just not the case. Accept yourself right now, exactly as you are, and that doesn't mean that you can't work on your boundaries, it doesn't mean you can't work on yourself, it just means you are accepting yourself and loving yourself exactly as you are right now. My next tip is to be aware of exactly when you might be feeling anxious. For me, I seem to get anxious. If I'm going to get anxious in a day, it is usually between 11:30 and 4:30. I don't really know why. I wonder if it's because that's when it's usually light outside, it's usually when people are still out and about doing things. It can be a bit busier, I feel like I should be doing X, Y, and Z. Whereas at night time it gets dark, people are coming home from work or they're home from work, and it's just a lot more cozy and quiet and calm. Whereas during the day it feels a bit like... So if I'm going to get anxious, it's usually between 11:30 in the morning and 4:30 in the evening. That's just the way it is for me. So I think I like to be aware of these kinds of things. So if there's anything like that you can think of to do with your anxiety, be aware of it, because because I know that information, because I know between 11:30 and 4:30 is when I'm most likely to get anxious, I know that if I'm in an anxious situation where my parents aren't here or whatever it is, I can try and be aware or stay busy or have things to do between 11:30 and 4:30. I know that I can maybe work that day, I can make sure somebody's around, one of my friends are around, whatever it is, I know, I'm aware, that's when I'm most likely to be feeling anxious. It just really, really helps me. Equally, being aware of your environment is very, very, very important. Being aware of your environment when it comes to people, what kind of people lift you up and what kind of people make you feel worse. Maybe not putting a judgment on that and not saying you have to exile everybody that makes you feel not 100% great all the time. Just being aware of the people in your life and the roles they play in your life, and maybe not judging it and just accepting that, or maybe deciding to do something about that. I think one thing we do when we have anxiety is we blame everything on our anxiety. So if we are feeling anxious about a certain person, we'll be like, oh, it's just my anxiety making me feel anxious about that person. Or if we are feeling anxious in certain situations, we will blame our anxiety, when actually our anxiety is sending us a message. Our anxiety is trying to tell us something. It is not there for absolutely no reason, although a lot of us have experienced trauma, and so it makes us easily triggered to certain things, and our anxiety is triggered by fairly normal situations. I think it's easy to just blame things on anxiety without actually looking into why we might be feeling anxious in certain situations. That's something that's really helped me and I've had a lot of discoveries through doing that. And my last thing is to do more of what you love. And I mean this in the way that when we have anxiety, we tend to make our lives revolve around anxiety because anxiety is there all the time. I used to feel guilty when I wasn't constantly pushing myself. If I hadn't tried to do something scary that day, or if I had spent a whole day doing something I enjoyed, I feel like, well, this isn't contributing towards me getting better. This is my job is to get better and I'm not doing that, which is the worst thing you could possibly do ever. I found actually that trying to live your life in the most safe and positive way possible by constantly challenging yourself, and there's definitely room to challenge yourself. I think challenging yourself is great, but if you're constantly doing that, you're exhausting yourself, you're going to make it much more difficult to actually get better. Discovering more of what you enjoy doing, whether that be knitting, like me, whether that be swimming, running, photography, meeting new people, going to cafes, drinking coffee, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, try and fill your life with as much as that's possible. You are allowed to do that, even though you have an anxiety disorder and you're 24 and so you need to start getting this anxiety sorted before you want to do X, Y, and Z. No. Let it go. Enjoy exactly this moment right now. Like what I was saying before, right now in this exact moment, what is it that you enjoy doing? Taking less focus away from who you should be, what you should be able to do, the things that you are lacking in your life because you have an anxiety disorder, the things you're missing out on, the people that are going to be annoyed at you. Just try and put that to one side every now and again and try to pick up your knitting needles and let that go and do what you enjoy. Whatever that is, do what you enjoy. So that is my 5 tips for the moment. Like I said, I have plenty more. There's plenty of things that have helped me with my anxiety that I didn't know would help me with my anxiety. I would love to share as many as I can with you guys, especially if they actually help you. So let me know if they helped you down below and if you want to try some of these things or if you already do some of these things. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!